remedy a problem with a lot of sponsors face. Every year they may have a conference for their women's group or their men's group or their pro-life chapter, and they are stuck with the same challenge every year. What speakers do we have this year? Who is someone that can help us raise money, or who is someone that can help us effectively communicate the message that we would like communicated to our attendees? And that's where we really get involved and help them. And like you were saying before, if someone is ailing or if someone needs a message, how do they find the speaker? Well, we've kind of catered our apostolate / business around that, and customize and work with each sponsor to fit their needs and find them a speaker that not only fits their budget but is able to communicate the message they're looking for. So we're really excited about that. And just a little history of CMG Booking. We started back in 2006. We started with 2 speakers, a guest speaker by the name of Condit, my younger sister, who really inspired me with what she was doing, and then another speaker, Tarek Saad, who appeared on Donald Trump's The Apprentice, season 5, and decided to become a speaker and write a book called Gut Check. And with those 2 speakers, we've grown today to over 150. It's 600 speakers trying to get into our elite group, which we rigorously screen every single person that we ever look at or consider joining the group. So it's quite a lengthy process, and it's a problem, yet a good problem to have. But we wish we could, represent everybody, every Catholic speaker in the world, which would be very helpful and beneficial to everyone. But of course, it takes time to get to that point. So that's what we're trying to head to.
So what did you go to college for? I mean, did you always know that you wanted to run your own company? I mean, how did this thing come to be?
That's a good question. I went to Miami University in Ohio, and unfortunately, it claimed the fame recently as the quarterback Ben Roethlisberger went to school with me there. But he's probably anyone who knows what it is, that's probably why they've heard of it. But it's a very good school in Ohio. I studied communications and business. I always saw myself climbing the ladder in some Fortune 500 companies, at least trying to run there. And one thing led to another. I started a couple companies as I started my professional career. I got in touch with a lot of great people. And I actually ended up starting a .com that I sold in 2008, which allowed me to have a lot of resources to start more companies. I wanted to give back to God for blessing me at such a young age. Not that anything I would do would ever be, ingrained in what He's blessed us all with. But so I decided to start CMG Booking and do something, toward my faith. And I tell you, I've been involved in 9 companies in my short stint as a professional. I'm 29 years old, and there's been no company, any of them could hold a candle to CMG Booking. The resources it's brought me, the fulfillment that it brings to people, and the great work that it does, and most importantly, the wonderful Catholics like you, Christina, that I end up meeting. Had it not been for CMG Booking, I never would have gotten to meet Stephen, Father John Carafi, everybody down the line. So this little ministry that we had back in 2006 has just grown to become one of the most requested or most visited sites on the internet for Catholic speakers, specifically for Catholic speakers. CMG Booking is one of the most visited on the internet today. So we're really excited with where it's headed. It's one thing led to another. With me personally, I always joke God works through fools, and so here I am. You just try and do what you feel in your heart is best to do, and He's really blessed the efforts that myself and now our new CEO, Matthew Cameron, who runs our day-to-day operations, he's really blessed our efforts in the last year or two, and we've really been growing. So.
Now, where do you see CMG going then? I've looked through. I don't even know how many speakers. For instance, how many speakers do you have right now?
Right now, I think we're exactly around 130 or so. We have 150. We're creating profiles, and all of them are not filling. There's some speakers that people can call. When they call us, we'll suggest to them, and because of their secular contracts, we cannot share them on our religious efforts. Websites, things we look at. For instance, there's a couple movie stars we work with that we can't show because of their contracts, but they will go out on their personal time and give a good message of faith to kids, to colleges, schools, conferences, what have you. So right now we do represent, we're almost at about almost at 150, and we are experiencing growing pains where we want to definitely keep the elite group to not be so overbearing or overwhelming to someone that comes to the site and says, wow, there's so many people on here, where do I even start? So we're trying to, update the functionality of how you search for speakers, things like that. We're also trying to find very unique speakers, speakers that we don't have quite yet on their topics or their background, because there's a major yearning out there by the masses of just, people telling their stories, which is the reason why I think Father John Karapi is so popular. He tells a story where he's been there, done that. People feel like they can relate to it. So we're trying to grab athletes, people exactly like yourself, Christina, with your actually popularity on that topic is growing. A young mother with a good amount of children, trying to raise them, living in the world today. That is becoming a very popular request in a lot of conferences, especially among women's conferences. So that's kind of an idea of where we're headed. We're trying to keep our very specific focus, provide our sponsors that call us, all the thousands of conferences across the country call us every year, provide them with good and very concise information on who and what speakers are out there, but also trying to figure out how we don't overwhelm, with all the speakers. Like I said, we have 600 people right now online trying to get a profile in CMG Booking, and although we'd love to put everything up right away, we got to screen them first, and also figure out how we're going to handle that, get to that many people.
Right. I can definitely see that would be difficult. Maybe like some kind of tab or something to click the tabs, because as I've looked through your speakers, I'm just so amazed at how you are able to offer such a huge, wide selection. You've got movie stars, you've got priests you have a priest on there that has his own cooking show. Is that right?
Correct. Father Leo Padalingharg, and I was blessed to work with Father before any of that came to fruition. I was with him it felt like day one, when he just wanted to promote grace before meals, getting the family together and getting the family together to pray, before they eat, and why meals are such a great thing for the family, to bring everyone together at least one time during the day, whether that's dinner or what have you. And I've seen his ministry grow from, very small with us to just an insanely wide reach now of grace before meals, and now he's traveling like a madman. I think he's one of the greatest people I've met, in that he's a saint. I don't know how he travels as much as he does, but he gets out there and gives his all, and very unique. He'll do a cooking show while he's speaking to the audience, that'll make the audience feel that they're on a live cooking show on the Food Network, and mix it with a message of faith. So he's done incredible work, and in the last 3 years has just expanded tenfold with this big outreach. So that has been a really neat experience for us.
Now, you also have a priest that was just given an award for having like one of the most successful podcast program online. Now, which priest is that?
I believe you may be referring to Father Joshua Wagner.
Okay, and yeah, and he's the guest on the show today. How did you come in contact with him, and how do you find your speakers? Do you do they have to be recommended by somebody, or do you see them yourself at a conference and say, wow, I'd love to represent them? How does that happen?
That's another great question, because this is truly where the hand of God, I believe, always comes in for us. It's a mixture of things. For instance, Father Joshua Wagner ended up hearing about us and contacting us. So we were very lucky in that he was able to get in contact with us in a way that we would never probably have known about him. And that when we got in contact with him, he was very early in what he was doing, and now he's very popular. Like you said, he just won several awards. We also have another priest who won some awards, Father Roderick, for his podcast and blog. So that's how we found Father Joshua, and other people like yourself who, Christina, who will call us and say, hey, I heard of the speaker, or I saw this speaker speak, you can look into them. and we will look into them and actively pursue them. Like we are Abby Johnson right now, who with a great group called Ambassador Speakers Bureau. Abby Johnson is the one that was in Planned Parenthood and worked for Planned Parenthood and decided to quit what she was doing and completely do a 180 and come on the other side and join the pro-life movement. So she's very popular right now. But most of the speakers that we end up getting into the review process come from either in-house, meaning speakers that we're already representing recommend them to us, or ones that we've heard or people send us emails and say, hey, you heard about this person? I just attended a conference, and they were fantastic. And it's amazing not only how many are sponsors that we work with, we work with thousands of sponsors, how active they are in suggesting speakers to us, but also the people that attend the conferences, how active they are leaving comments on our website to their favorite speaker, or telling us, hey, I saw this person you don't have and you should look into it. So, like I said, it was an act of God. It's he kind of guides people to help us find his people, and it's just an incredible thing. You know, I always ask and tell people, how do you do this? I don't really take any credit for it, because it's when you get active in something that you believe in and you're passionate about, especially something as good as CMG booking is. I think the Holy Spirit, intervenes and helps things fall into place. And I can say that I've truly witnessed that with this project. So.
My guest today, Joe Condit of CMG Booking. Joe, it was my pleasure to have you on today. I think we're going to need to have you on. I think you did talk about being on at least once a month, so we can maybe feature a CMG Booking speaker that you have there, just to kind of help get that awareness out. And I know, Joe, that you also try to work with persons that might have difficulty funding their own conference. And what I love too is you have, if they book 3 or 4 speakers with you, then you help them with the 4th one or something. How does that work?
Correct. Yeah, for every 4th speaker, a sponsor books with us, we pay 10% of the speaker's fee for the 4th speaker. And I'm glad you brought that up, because in 2011, I'm starting a new initiative. We're creating a 501c3 so people can donate their money, where all that money will go toward expenses and fees of the speakers. So CMG Booking, we're trying to take it the next step now, recognizing the economy's tough. A lot of people aren't getting the same donations they used to back several years back. So now we're stepping up and trying to create funds where all the sponsors call us, we can help them pay for expenses and get that speaker out there so the speaker can spread their message, and financial means are not something that stops happening. So we're really excited about that initiative as well.
Well, thanks so much, Joe, for being on the show, and I can't wait to have you on next month. Stay with us here on Embracing Your Greatness, where we're going to have Father Joshua Wagner on next. And we'll be talking with him about his wonderful podcast and blog and all the things that he's been doing through CMG, so that he can answer the Holy Father's call of embracing his greatness by manifesting and showing the world, revealing the merciful and caring heart of Jesus Christ to the world. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.